All right.
We are back.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
we had a little break in there.
Yeah. What episode are we on?
We are on episode 22.
The Real Life Lounge.
Yes.
We're going to get back and kind of get reconnected here today.
Yeah. So we're going to do a series. We like the series. We're going to talk about the Real Life Learning Co. method and what that is. We're going to intro it today, and then it's 9 subjects total, and we're going to talk about each subject over the next 9 episodes.
Let's start a little bit with the genesis of real life learning as kind of a review, and then which then leads into the 9 subjects, but kind of like, where did this all hatch from?
Yeah. So March of 22, when Maggie and I were in a hotel room and coming up with this idea of a business that we wanted to do together, we brain dumped all these topics of things that we wish we would have learned as kids, or poor habits or mindset things that we now have to unlearn as an adult. And we just started talking about all these things that we think would have had such an impact on our life as we grew up if only we had known them or learned them differently as a kid.
So with the goal then of then teaching today's kids those things.
Yes, equipping the kids with these subjects. So we had this whole list, and then we were going to break it down into categories, and Maggie wrote real life learning, and we realized that they're all real life learning subjects. And that's where our business name came from. And then that developed into the method, which is our keystone curriculum. So it's a curriculum of 9 subjects, kind of meant to be done over the school year, but it can definitely be adapted in whatever way works for your family.
Mm-hmm. Or in any order, or starting any month, right?
Yeah, if there's a topic,
or skipping months or whatever.
Yeah, if there's a topic that you don't like or don't want to teach your kids, you can totally skip that subject or topic. So what are the 9 subjects you want to do?
Sure. Yeah. So the 9 quickly. So if you think about the things that you wish you would have learned as a kid and now hope to teach your kids, number 1 is growth mindset. The whole idea of mindset, the whole idea of like mental strength and that whole concept.
And we really dive into a lot of the, processing emotions and, mental and emotional health and wellness kind of get rolled into that growth mindset one.
A lot of the stuff that has come along with this kind of generation of personal development stuff. So that's number 1. Number 2 is physical health and wellness, because we really truly believe that having physical health and wellness leads to healthy other areas of your life, but other areas of your life are really hard to be healthy if you're not physically healthy. So that's number 2. Number 3 is nutrition. That's one thing I really wish I would have learned when I was a kid, especially being like in sports and being really active, is what kind of effect that nutrition could have had on my life. So teaching nutrition to kids, it just equips them so well. So nutrition was a huge one for getting on that list. Another one is inclusion and belonging. You want to say anything about that?
Just including others that are different than you, recognizing that every individual has worth and value, and just really acknowledging those physical, mental, emotional differences and being inclusive of each other.
The next one is communication and relationships. Can't we all agree everything comes down to communication and relationships? But if we don't learn some of those tools, those key tools early on in life, everything's just a little bit harder. The next one is leadership. I think all kids need to learn to be leaders.
Leaders of themselves, leaders in their family.
Yes.
Like, you can be a leader in lots of different ways.
Yeah, and just instilling, again, that some of that growth mindset stuff that we get in topic number 1 of just the self-esteem stuff that comes along. So the next one is money. This is probably the number 1 most asked for thing that people say they wish they would have learned when they were kids, because it's really hard to learn those hard lessons as an adult when it comes to money. But if you had some of those lessons early on, it could have gone a long way. Kind of coupling with money is the next topic, which is entrepreneurship. We live in this new kind of economy where it's not all 9-to-5 jobs anymore. It's more about the gig economy and the small businesses and the ability to do commerce online now. So entrepreneurship was like a very unknown word to me when I was a kid, but now it's really key. So that's one of the subjects. And the last one is spirituality.
Yeah, and spirituality, it's not teaching a religion. There, we talk a lot about different religions and tapping into your higher power and how do you best communicate and be supported. We get a lot of questions about that one. And again, it's just meant to open conversations for you and your family to discuss what's important to you. It's not meant to teach you a right or wrong way to practice religion or spirituality.
So how do you organize within the real life learning method curriculum? How do you organize each of these 9 topics?
Yeah, so each of the 9 topics is broken down into 4 subtopics, kind of meant to be 4 weeks in a month. And each topic has a lesson that you can either read. We also have video versions of it if your kids are more audio visual, and sometimes just having Maggie or I teach the lesson instead of you reading it can hold their attention a little bit more. And then there's a real life experience or project that you can do each week to go along with it that's interactive and engaged and hands-on. There's books, there's videos that you can use to support the material. We have affirmations, we have discussion questions. Really, it's using, you can do all of it in that week, or you can pick and choose the parts that work for you.
And then the accompanying masterclass.
Yes. And then there's the master classes. So last year we had a master class to accompany every week. This year we're going to do 1 to 2 live master classes for the week. Or for the month, excuse me. So there are a couple of different ways you can purchase the method. You can either buy just the printed curriculum, so it'd be those 9 subjects broken down into the 4 subtopics in a printed version sent to you in a day or 2 from Amazon. That's option 1. And then the other option is our digital course version. So it's got all the same curriculum content, but then you get the library of all 36 master classes from last year that you can watch at your leisure, plus any live master classes we do for this upcoming school year. So 1 to 2 per month that you can jump on live and engage and ask questions. So those master classes were, it literally gives me goosebumps. They were just so magical last year. They're all taught by guest experts. It's not Maggie and I or Brian and I teaching all of them. They're all guest experts from those subjects, and they're like super passionate about it. And they were just incredible classes. We all learned so much, not just for the kids. So those master classes are meant, to watch as a family. They're geared towards kids. It's not an adult masterclass that then you're supposed to turn around and teach your kids.
Right. So it's a participative. Well, if you're watching the recording, it's still for the whole family, but the lessons were all designed with the kids as the audience in mind. So for this series here on Real Life Lounge, we're going to take each of these 9 topics. We're going to dig a little deeper into the importance and our thoughts on each of them and kind of what you were thinking when you developed the curriculum. So that's going to be fun as we go along here. We're going to kind of put together these next 9 episodes pretty quickly to go over all of them.
Yeah. So if you have any questions on the method, we'll make sure to link the purchase options below, and message us with any questions.
See you next time, real soon.